some days it's beautiful, like today, and then some days it was snow, right? So you got everything.
Wow.
Where are you again?
Chicago?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It is great. I was talking to someone yesterday where I'm like, I think Chicago is the most underrated city, and it's like it's the most underrated city 2 months out of the year, which is true. But those 2 months are so freaking awesome that it makes up for the rest. Sometimes.
I agree. I say we get 6 good days. We live for those 6 great days, and we maximize them.
That's it. Great, wonderful.
Boston, you got a ton of snow.
It's the same thing. I mean, Boston and Chicago. I always said it's so weird. Your weather just comes to us like 2 days later, and it's almost, but it's like the same shit. It's like just as cold, just as snowy, just a little bit different, just as windy.
The only difference is we're nice. We'll help you in Boston.
We are not. We actually are nice, but we don't come across nice. All right, cool. Now, guys, I haven't sent an email out to anybody yet because I'm still like, is it as good as I think it is? But I'll give it to you here as well. Now, copy. All right. Let me change my view. I'm only looking at one person. That's weird. Why is it not letting me do that? All right. In the chat, though, as I try to do this myself, in the chat, what I just put is a link to a playbook builder. AI playbook builder. So this should build your playbook for you, regardless of if what you do is normal or not normal. You fill in information, a couple of things. It's like 4, 5, 6 different things it asks you, like who's your ICP or whatever, and then it will spit back out at you what all of the actual playbook document, as well as 10 templates, including the onboarding template, commission planning, commission document, comp plan doc, script, sequences, everything all filled in for you. The only thing you need to do is have Claude, because Claude's doing the back end work. So you have to just like grab your Claude API key, you dump it in. Not only will Claude build it for you, but also as you're going through the questions, if you put in your website, instead of having to fill out like who's our ICP, you can be like, do it for me. And Claude will like go to your website and like fill in what they think your ICP is, for example. So you could technically have the whole thing done for you completely. Okay. If you mess with it, I don't think so. I don't think it matters, Chris. As long as you can get an API key, which I think is on the basic version, you're good.
The only thing I would say, Michael, and that was if it just depends how many tokens it's going to chew up, because
that's true.
Pro plan at $20 a month, or if you do the annual, will hit a limit per day.
Yep. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Aaron, any idea what that limit is?
I don't know what that is.
No, but I have only reached it twice.
You're on the regular plan or whatever?
I'm on the $20 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
I only reached it twice, and I was cranking on analysis on stuff. So I doubt, Mike, I'll try it here.
No, I shouldn't be that crazy, but yeah, give it a look. I'll take any like feedback or whatever on it, and it's not going to be perfect. Some of the formatting is a little bit off, which I've been like trying to fix, but it's like keeps not knowing what I'm saying. But it should get you like 90% of the way there to get you started. So stick around, stay part of the crew, because there's always new shit coming. And I'll show you one other thing that's going to be new that will be coming, and then we're going to go into training. But I want you guys to know what's up. So this is a new thing that will be coming. So you guys are familiar with this, doc, and more specifically this bit here, the scorecard. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm building an app for that, also in Claude. So like this is somebody's version of it right now, where we can say, hey, show me the scorecard, and it looks just like the scorecard, number of things, number whatever. Show me actual goal, percent to quota, just like mine. The document does with the trend and everything else. Pull in leaderboards for all the different things, and we can look at leaderboards as actuals or percent to goal, reps, or regions if you want to look at regions. And then also even a game plan to say, hey, based on what my goal is and what I've done so far, how many of each thing do I need to do to hit my target based on how many days are left in the month? So a lot of cool stuff that will be happening here. And then a little ticker at the bottom, ESPN style ticker. So cool things coming, which is why you guys are here, which is great. That said, let's lock in. Before we lock in, I'd love to know questions, people are having issues. Hey, Mike, this is on my mind, or we tried doing this and it didn't work, or something along those lines. Okay, sweet. Well, let me open up training and let's get rocking. Screen. Okay, where is it? Come on. There we go. There we go. Wonderful. Cool. Last time we were talking about data analysis. So trying to use the 100 score to evaluate efficiency, looking at the strategy framework. So let me just recap that. Great. So what we're saying here at a high level is you want to look at your 100 score, and your 100 score can be something that you're doing on your that's truly 100 score, 100 times your win rate times your deal size, to figure out, if I were to give a salesperson 100 leads, how much money would they print me, and how has that changed over time, to indicate, are we doing better at our job or worse at our job, as opposed to just looking at revenue. Revenue might go up because we got more leads. That doesn't mean your sales team is better. It just means you got more leads. So we want to look at that. Then we want to look at the strategy of what we do with it. So for example, if we see leads are going down, what do we do? Most people go, you know what we should do? We should do a power hour. Let's do a spiff. I'm going to tell the reps they have to make 100 dials. But what we do as managers is, for the purpose of shortcuts, we go right from problem all the way down to action plan, which in this example I'm giving here is, let's make 100 dials, tell our reps to make 100 dials. And we want to go in between, and we want to think first, what is the core issue? Now, I believe Andre, I think it was Andre and Nick, it was you that were here last week. But what we basically talked about is, for every strategy, any issue you have, these are the different things you should be considering are some of the core issues. Is it a market problem, a source problem, an activities problem, a process problem, a price problem, or a rep problem? It's probably going to fall into one of these categories, is your problem. But once you figure out your problem, the strategy section, I'm just recapping, guys. I know I'm going fast. Stop me at any point in time, though, because not all of you guys were in the training on Tuesday. When you have the strategy, first thing you want to do is you want to go, what is the core issue? So we're like, we aren't getting enough leads. Cool. The core issue is, whatever I think the answer is, asking myself, why is that not happening now? We don't have enough leads because we're not making enough calls. Why are we not making enough calls? Because the reps don't see value in the calls happening. Why do the reps not see value in the calls happening? Because I haven't explained it to them. Great. So now my plan is not yell at everybody and make 100 dials. My plan is explain to the reps why it is valuable. Because the core issue is not they're not making the dials. The core issue is they're not making the dials because they don't see the value in it. Therefore, I don't want to solve the one problem, but still have the root cause, the root problem there. Do y'all feel everybody with me? Thank you. Cool. So this is where, if you guys are like, I just want to get the short version of it, this is the short version of what I'm saying here today. If you want to make this a little GPT, or just make a note to yourself, this is strategy. So first, what is my problem? Leads are down. Why are leads down? Because of X. Why is X not solved now? Because of Y. Got it. Y is the problem. So my action option is, well, what is something I could do that will solve that? Cool. That's like what you do today. Then I want to think through my risks. So if this did not work, I told the reps it was valuable and it still didn't work. Or if I didn't explain it to them, or if in explaining it to them, this other area of the business went down, what would I do to start? What are the chances those things would happen? So I might say, hey, I think we should tell the reps, maybe let's say I'm the VP. So I'm going to tell my managers, hey guys, make sure to tell the reps the value in making dials. Okay. Well, one reason that it might not work is the reps don't trust the manager, because I know that the manager, they don't like the manager very much. One reason why it might not happen is I told the manager to do it, but am I following up to make sure the manager is doing what I want them to do? Maybe I don't follow up. And the other is, if I have them yelling about dials, maybe the prep for our new conference that we have going on goes down. So now I'm going to adapt my action plan. The action plan is this, plus my solutions to this is my adapted plan. So I'm going to go, okay, the plan is still explained to the reps why dials are valuable. However, I'm going to adjust that plan by having me be the person who gives the conversation, the topic, because I have more authority than Mike, who they don't like. The other adjustment I'm going to make is I'm going to Again, I'm doing it, so I will know that it will happen. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the number from 100 dials to 50 dials. Great. I now have my plan to solve the core issue. And I'm going to ideally create a core milestone here to say, okay, well, like just telling the reps it's valuable is my plan, but it's for an ultimate outcome, which is like I want to get more leads. So my milestone will always be an outcome by date. Okay, then my expectation is we have 20% more calls within 7 days. Now I can know if this worked or didn't work. Do y'all feel? Do y'all most definitely feel? Sweet. I also think, if I remember correctly, I made a GPT for this. I think I put it in here. I think I may have done this. Yep. So you can see what it's doing here. It's going like, what is the core issue, strategy, risk, adjusted. So you guys have access to this since you're all in the program. So I will copy this over as well, just in case you guys didn't see it in the email I sent a little bit before. But this will allow you to just be like, I have this problem. Can you think through the strategy on it? Cool. Sick. All right. Amazing. So now I want to go into forecasting. But that said, I think it was just one or two people in the last meeting where I went over that stuff in detail. And now we've got kind of a bigger group here today. So I feel like it would be wrong to just kind of breeze over stuff. So I'm wondering if what sort of immediate questions you guys might have too on like, well, I have this situation, or I was thinking of this. Can you help me tie this in my brain? And we can use this session more to talk about strategy. If not, I'll go to forecast. But I feel like strategy is a big one everybody struggles with.
I have a question. So, hello, Katie. Perfect example. We are literally dealing with the leads issue internally on our team. The feedback we get from the reps isn't, I'm making all the calls I can. I'm sourcing MQLs, not marketing. So how do you apply the strategy or bring in a cross-functional team when it's not the reps issue? The reps are making calls. They're the ones finding the MQLs. Our marketing team can't seem to funnel them to us.
Okay.
And it's not the usual marketing just isn't giving me MQLs. Like we have the data to back up.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, okay, I will just take your word for it.
Yeah, we have the data to back up. The reps are doing the calling. They're doing the researching. I think we got 6 MQLs in the last 14 weeks.
Okay, cool. So if my first thought on this is like, is it even possible? Like to get more MQLs will either require an increased quantity. Everything's going to be quantity, quality, distribution. It'll be an increased quantity of cash or an increased quality of effort or a redistribution of cash or effort. So even if you guys wanted to, and you proved your case or whatever, are there resources for you to increase the quantity of cash, the quantity of people, the quality of the effort they're doing, or redistributing the effort? Or is it just not possible?
It's possible. There have been some work changes, so it's possible.
Cool. So what I'll say here is, and I'll bring this is a great way to talk about this section right here. This is why I'm saying quantity, quality, distribution, because like in anything, it's quantity, quality, distribution. So you're having potentially a rep problem, just the reps aren't on your team. It's like, do we need to hire more marketers or less marketers that are better? Do we need to get better marketers or worse marketers who can do like something that's really easy, or distribute our marketing team differently and be like, take Joe off of like branding and put him on to whatever. So I'm just bringing up the value in this quantity, quality, distribution framework to think about like, what is the issue? So for you, my tactical answer, and then we'll get into the strategy stuff though, is what is the core reason why you don't have enough quantity of people or quality of people or distribution of them? So is that a political thing of like, well, the marketer is like my boss's daughter? Is that a different issue of like we don't have money to invest in marketing? Is it the person we have is an idiot? What is that issue? So that whatever the solution is, which is ultimately what you're asking me, hey, what do I do? I can't really know the exact solution, because that solution might be create a business plan, bring it to your boss on why they should spend more money in marketing. It could be get someone above the marketer to go get told they stink so that they want to go do what it is that you want them to do. Another could be like find a new resource internally who can help us do what we do. So I don't know if this is a skill problem, a will problem, a quantity, quality, distribution quality. I don't know. However, assuming you figure that out, your actual question was like, how do I do this shit if it's not my individual team?
Yes.
The answer to that question is either A, you need dad to tell everybody, mom or dad to tell them they have to do it.
Yeah.
B, you need to call in a favor, which is why you want to create deposits across the organization so you can say, hey, marketing, I need you to fucking do this shit, even though I'm not your daddy. That's number 2. Or 3, you need to make it known to them that they should do it. So basically, either you get their dad to tell them to do it, and that's their motivation. You motivate them to do it because you're like, do me a solid and we're cool, or you motivate them to do it by showing them the numbers and it's like, hey, this is not possible, or no one's going to hit our targets because of this. So what the specific plan would be is likely going to be pulling numbers to show like your 100 score over time, and how if only we can get more leads, then we can get more revenue in. It might be going to the annual plan section of the HQ doc and doing some scenario planning of, hey, if we were to spend an extra 10,000 in marketing, that would drive an extra X number of MQLs, and that will increase our revenue by Y. And so you can go to your CEO or whoever internally, or even just the marketer, to say, hey, ran the numbers. What are your thoughts on this? Those are likely the things I would do here. But I'd say that this marketing problem you are having, I have dealt with fucking countless times. And my solution has been the same every time, which is I run the numbers. I do the annual plan, and I go, I put in all the sales. My boss will go, Mike, I need you to get to $10 million next year. And we're at $2 million. I'll put all of our numbers in to be like, here's what we're currently doing. Then I'll write in, and here's all the changes I'm going to make on the sales side. I'm going to hire people. I'm going to increase their skills, whatever I'm going to do. And I believe that's going to increase our win rate and our deal size, and maybe the number of leads we get to some degree. That gets us to $8 million. So I then go to my boss and I'm like, well, shit, this is everything. Like, do you think maybe I'm underestimating how much our win rate will go up? And it's actually more? No, you think that's probably too much? Okay, well, then my boss and I sit and we go, well, there's no way that you can make the sales team more optimized than you are saying you're going to make it. And I go, okay, well, that's my side. And then they end up going, well, you guys need more fucking leads. And you go, really? Well, what we need an SQL target for marketing that's not $1 million or whatever you can do. We have an SQL target for or MQL in your case, for marketing. That is, we look at our MQL to SQL conversion rate and our SQL to deal conversion rate. We go, we need this many deals, divide it. This is how many MQLs we need, just like we do on the sales side of things. When we go, we need $1 million closed. Each rep does 500K. We need 2 reps. We should do the exact same thing on the marketing side. We need $1 million in sales. It's we need 10 deals per sale. Therefore, we need 100 new deals. Marketing, go get us 100 deals. That's your quota. So that's what has gotten me to get CEOs to force marketing, or marketing to go, I get it, and they follow along. I hope that's helpful.
Very. Thank you. I will be using some of that. I'll Slack you if I have any questions.
Cool.
Sorry.
Hit me up. I was talking really fast there. I know that was like a Katie specific issue, but I'm sure we all have that issue, which is why I felt cool talking about it for a while. So I wonder if any other questions have come up as you guys are sitting here going, well, wait, Mike, why did you do this? Or why wouldn't you do this? Or I've done this, it hasn't worked, or something else that may have like shooken around in your head when I said all that stuff.
Well, it's just funny. It seems like that's always the argument, right? Is marketing thinks they're doing a phenomenal job always. And then on the sales side, if there's ever a struggle, you're like, listen, like we've struggled with this conversion for a long time, but I want to reverse engineer it.
I want to give you guys this one. So I've got the frameworks. I'll give you a third framework that I'm realizing I use consistently. So the first one is quantity, quality, distribution. Any problem I have, I need to boil it, to search into 3 buckets. Is this a quantity problem, a quality problem, or a distribution problem? The other big framework that I'm using constantly is reduce friction or increase incentive. This thing isn't happening. Do I need to reduce friction, make it easier to happen, or do I need to increase the incentive, make this person or this thing want to happen more? Those ones are always there. This isn't a framework actually, as I'm realizing. The other thing that I want to do is I never want to argue about theory. I always want to argue over numbers. So just talked to a guy before this who just joined, and he was like, oh, my problem is my boss doesn't want to hire a sales rep. I can never be a manager. And I'm like, yes, because the idea, take you off the sales floor, hire a new person, not as good as you, does not sound good. Theoretically, that doesn't work. So I don't want to argue over theory. I don't want to argue over marketing should give us more, but sales should be doing more, because there's no way to win that argument. I do want to argue over numbers. So if I can instead say, I think I'm just going to keep on this conversation here, guys, instead of forecasting. But if I can instead say, where's my, oh, there it is, other way. Oh, perfect. Like, hey, I want to move me into leadership. And I think if we move me into leadership, that's going to decrease our leads, our outbound leads by 20%. It's going to decrease our win rate by, I think, 20%. And it's going to decrease our deal size by, 40%, let's say. However, I think if we do that, I can increase the size of the team by 50%. And I think that in increasing the size of the team 50%, I can increase the number of leads by 50% and the number of, and our win rate. That's it. So actually it's worth it to do that. And let me give a better example. Let's go to make this, and then I'll just give this example here just to make the numbers look a little cooler. So here, if I go to the boss and I go, hey, I have a plan and the plan's going to make these changes. Marketing has to send us more leads, whatever. Let's do the marketing one, actually, because that's a cooler one. If I say to the boss, hey, if we do what we're going to do next year, here's how it's going to look. I'm going to increase the size of the team by 20%. I think if we do that, I'm going to get 20% more leads. I'm going to do all this training. It's going to increase our win rate by 50%, increase our deal size by 50%. So if we do that, I can get us to $56 million. However, boss, you said my target's 75K. So now my boss is going to say, well, Mike, is that really all you can do? I'll go, okay, well, instead of arguing over the concept, give more money to marketing, I want to argue over the numbers. Well, good point. We can maybe increase the team up to 1.5 times the size. And that might increase our leads will go up by 1.5. Maybe you make these 1.6. Maybe our win rates will go up that high. Okay. I'm still not there, Mr. Boss. Well, yeah, could you make the team bigger and get even more? And I'm like, well, no, at that point, I'm going to have more than 12 people. So if I do that, I got to hire a manager and everything. Yeah, I don't want to do that. And now we can argue over, well, how much money could I give marketing? What if we gave marketing $500,000? We think that we can get 10 times as many leads. Look at that. We make $640 million. Do you think it's worth it now? Well, I don't think it's going to be 10 times as many leads. Well, then how many leads do you think it'll be? Maybe 3 times. Okay. Well, maybe not 3, maybe only 50% more. Okie dokie. So now me and my boss are arguing with math right in front of us going, it's not 1.7, it's 1.6. And that's a very different conversation from, I don't want to spend money on marketing. That doesn't make sense. So I never want to argue over concepts. I always want to argue over numbers. So you put the numbers in a simplistic view, it completely changes the conversation you have with your boss. It might still end with your boss going, I don't fucking care, figure it out. We all have bosses. But it will, worst case scenario will get you to look like you know what the hell you're talking about, even if you don't. And best case scenario will be like, you're right, we should make a change. The first time I did this, the result was we got $27 million in funding. We hired 60 BDRs and opened an entirely new office. And so since doing that, I've been like confident with it. And now I've done this, oh my God, I can't even, probably 300 times, and gotten marketing more money or other departments more money, or finally getting rules approved. I'm like, this is the policy, we should have changed, while everybody else is bitching about like theory of like, well, we shouldn't need 6 sales reps. And I'm like, that's fine. You're right. We shouldn't need 6 sales reps, but mathematically we'll make a lot more money. So what's your plan? Oh, you're the other guy. Cool. I'm going to need 6 sales reps. You guys with me? So steps for you guys to take from this point forward. One would be to use the GPT to test out, like, what would be this? How does my GPT think about your strategy or your issue? Maybe it'll give you something cool to think about. Number 2 would be, if you haven't filled out the annual planning gray boxes in that section, please do, so that you can start doing some cool scenario planning. And 3 would be, if you're thinking about changes that you want to make and you're like, Mike, I want to do this. Come to an office hours, book time with me one-on-one, send me a video, and we can build this for you one-on-one to make it happen for you. Sound good?
Perfect.
All right, guys, forecasting next week, I promise. See ya.